Hey, this is Dan from Max Bows, coming to you with my next video of the Pallet Bow Build Along. I skipped the video of gluing the riser together and all that sort of funness, but it's a dime a dozen on YouTube. So I'll show you what I've got right now. Now the riser is tri-wood lamination. The outside, I want to say, is an oak, I believe, and the center is definitely poplar, and it's going to make for a good color breakdown. Now you notice right here, this was a giant knot, and that popped out when I was using a chisel to take it down in thickness. I had to... Sorry, that's what it thinks of me doing this video. It doesn't like it, but whatever. I had to use a chisel because it broke a bandsaw blade. I was using the bandsaw. You can even see some of these little cuts. Now I noticed when I was cutting out the actual shape of the bow on the bandsaw, I was having a really hard time going through the wood. So I would cut little notches the whole way on what I wanted to cut out, and then slowly move it through step by step by step, cutting out little notches. It seemed to make it a little bit easier, but when I was trying to take down the width today, it broke the blade. It hit a knot and snapped. So now I gotta buy a new bandsaw blade. But here's the my first takedown recurve. Now, here's one thing that they didn't cover on any videos that I've seen. Now, you see companies and people who use the nut in the bottom and then epoxy it in, but that's a pain in the ass to do, because then you got to properly grease the bolt, but if you don't grease it enough, it's going to get epoxied in there, and if you grease it too much, it could get on the nut, in which it wouldn't make a good contact with the epoxy, so it wouldn't get stuck in there, in shape, as a lock nut. But I did think of a different type of lock nut, which I'm going to use on my next build. So for this, I just took a regular hex head bolt and put it in here. I put a little bit of an epoxy on the lip of the bolt, then pulled it down tight and compressed it in the wood, and then I filled this crevice with epoxy. Did it on both sides. Mistake that I did. Now, when I've seen takedown bows, you see the little pins. I didn't know why they only use the little pins. I found out. I thought that it would be cool to have the pin going all the way up to the edge right here. Now, after you tighten it down and everything's together, it was really hard to get the limb off. So I had to cut in, use a punch to punch down the pin so I could get the limb off. And then I trimmed it, so it's basically like, it's probably like 5/16 of an inch from the riser to the top of the pin. And then I used some bowstring wax on the nut, on the bolt and the pin, so the limb will come off with somewhat of ease. It's pretty stationary when it's bolted on. I can't move it back and forth. I've tried repeatedly, and it's like the smaller pin gives a better contact, because when the pin was larger, I was able to move it. But now that the pin is smaller, it's a smaller point of contact, so it's like you don't have a mechanical advantage with the limb, and it's just smaller and sturdier, I found. And I did put it on the tailoring tree once just to see where I was at. This limb was twisting just a little bit. I took off a little bit of the side just to get it to somewhat bend even. Even. Say it with me, Dan. Even. Okay, now that we're good. And this limb was stronger, so I took off on both sides. And this is just a tailoring string. When I get it close with the tailoring string, then I'll put a real bowstring on. I'll make a, I think I'm going to make an endless loop bowstring for this. So I'll put it on the tailoring tree and see if you can see it. It's right back there. Yes, my shop's a mess. I haven't done spring cleaning yet. I think they're bending even, but I will bring you over. Can you see? Can you see? No, you can't see. Oh, you can. And my beard. I'll bring you over better though. And you can see limbs are bending pretty good. That one still has a little bit of a twist in it, so I'm going to hit it right there, right where the recurve part is. Right where it starts to recurve out, that's where it's beginning to twist. So I'm going to hit it just a little bit right there. But the limbs seem to be bending even by sight. So once I get that little bit of twist out, now I know if I go too hard and I just keep taking, I'm not going to have much poundage. And honestly, a little bit of limb twist isn't the end of the world. It's not going to kill your bow. Oh, let me take out the tailoring tray. Now, Thunder. Go nice and light, and you want to keep your hand on the bow firmly. And these laminations are actually pretty cool. Pallet bow is actually coming out pretty good. A little bit of a finer. Because once I get the twist out, and it looks tillered, I'm not going to take any poundage off. I want to try to maintain as much power in this bow as I can. Right. Use the 220 grit just to get those rough edges off. Oh, so smooth. Let's go put it on. And you know, I've tried hard not to swear in my videos, just in case who's ever watching. But I'm kind of to the point where I really don't fucking care. Not many people watch my videos, so I might as well talk how I want. Alright, let's check it out. Looks a little bit better, looks a little bit better. Looks a little bit better now. Let's see if it looks like it's hinging any. Dun dun dun. I think it looks fairly good. I think it looks pretty even. Wouldn't you? Actually, that one seems a little bit weaker, but it could be because the bow is kind of cocked that way. Alright, alright, alright. Well, I'm going to make an endless bowstring now. And then, once that's up and that's good and I have proper poundage, I'll do another video of the bow finalized. This is Dan from Max Bows. Pallet Bow Challenge. Comment, subscribe.